Religious insurance. Religious insurance. False assurance. Oh, what's this about, Alan? Well, I'll tell you an experience I had in the 1980s. I became a JW in 1974, a Jehovah's Witness. And I was teaching my children at home because they were bullied at school. So I had to adjust my life to teach my children at home. So I did things like taxi driving, mainly at night. Now, I had a very good education in grammar school. I was searching around for somewhere I could earn an income without doing mundane work like window cleaning and taxi driving. So I found this particular course held locally, which was selling life insurance. And when you walked into this building, the first thing the guys would say was, "Good news, good news." It was almost like being in a religious environment. Good news as you walk through the door. What they were selling really was investments of money, but you had to do it under the umbrella of selling life insurance. And because of my indoctrination, I thought, well, how can I sell people insurance policies for life when I believe the end of the world is coming like tomorrow? They said, no, Alan, you've passed all the exams. You could be so useful. So I went back to my taxi driving because I was a regular pioneer, which is a full-time evangelizer in Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, in the UK here, if you sell life insurance, you are, or have to rather, comply to very stringent regulations. If you take a bank loan out, for example, and you take out insurance protection, for example, if you lose your job, there's a massive move now that if you've been sold that protection policy and you didn't want it, you can claim back the money from the banks. Okay? There's a massive protection when it comes to money and deception. As I say, life insurance, people who sell life insurance have got to comply to massive regulations. Why is it then that religious organizations are not under the same constraint? Or British standard, if you like. Do you have American standard things in America? It's called British standard here anyway in this country. People can spew out all this rubbish, giving them people a false life assurance or reassurance. If you do this and that, you will get everlasting life. Unless you believe in hellfire, for example, you're going to burn in hell. And that's what kept the masses in indoctrination through the centuries. Through fear. They thought, if we don't go to church, we're going to burn in hell. But there's no regulation over these religious bodies. Not yet. Not yet. You see, Hebrews 2 is very interesting. And we'll look at verse 14 and 15. Now Jesus, okay, came that through his death he might destroy him who holds the power of death, that is, the devil, and free those who all their lives were held in slavery by their fear of death. As Jesus said, you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Religion's got too much freedom at the moment, because the devil works through three things: politics, finance, and religion. At the moment he has free reign as far as religion's concerned. Look at the confusion out there, beloved. The confusion. Look at the state of the world. How has religion helped mankind? Look at your own country, your own town where you live. I just went to the shop a couple of hours ago, locally. The hustle and bustle, People pushing and shoving, getting their Christmas stock so they can stuff themselves with their turkey and mince pies and all the other paraphernalia. Paraphernalia, sorry. So say, celebrating the birth of Christ. It's manic out here at the moment. It's manic. Religion will answer for her crimes. She has a free rein at the moment, whereas when it comes to finance, there are regulations and constraints. Okay? Let's look at Revelation 18, shall we? I saw another angel coming down from heaven. He had a great authority, and the earth was illuminated by his splendor. With a mighty voice he shouted, "Fallen! Fallen is Babylon the Great." Now, ancient Babylon was a civilization of confusion. They worshipped countless gods. Countless gods. Babylon the Great has become a home for demons and a haunt for every evil spirit, a haunt for every unclean and detestable bird. For all the nations have drunk the maddening wine of her adulteries. Do you remember the Revelation 17 talks about this woman riding on a wild beast, and the wild beast turns on her. Politics has been ridden by religion, and also religion is ridden, in that sense of the word, infested with politics. But this harlot riding on the back of the wild beast, politics, is going to be kicked off. Kicked off. And don't forget, it says here, all nations have drunk the maddening wine. Nice translation, this. Of her adulteries. Yeah, I saw the Pope recently, a picture of people kissing his ring on his finger. Politicians kissing his ring, and they're not even Catholics. Makes you want to throw up. The kings of the earth committed adultery with her, and the merchants of the earth grew rich from her excessive luxuries. Then I heard another voice from heaven say, "Come out of her, my people, so that you will not share in her sins, so you will not receive any of her plagues, for her sins are piled up to heaven, and God has remembered her crimes." Religion. Give back to her as she has given. Pay her back double for what she has done. Mix her a double portion from her own cup. Give her as much torture and grief as the glory and luxury she gave herself. Now in herself she boasts, "I sit as a queen. I'm not a widow. I will never mourn." Death, mourning, and famine will overtake her. In one day her plagues will overtake her. She'll be consumed by fire, this religious harlot. For mighty is the Lord God who judges her. Now, when the kings of the earth, who committed adultery with her, and shared her luxury, see the smoke of her burning, they will weep and mourn over her. Terrified at her torment, they'll stand far off and cry, "Woe! Woe, O great city! O Babylon, city of power! In 1 hour your doom has come." Now the merchants of the earth, finance, will weep and mourn over her because no one buys their cargoes anymore. No more hypocritical religious festivals. It's this time of year when the stores and shops throughout the land, throughout the earth, rely on their income, especially in this build-up to Christmas, Without Christmas, they wouldn't exist. So there's no one to buy their stock anymore, their cargoes. Cargoes of gold, silver, precious stone and pearls, fine linen, purple silk and scarlet cloth, every sort of citron wood and articles of every kind made of ivory, costly wood, bronze, iron and marble, cinnamon and spice of incense, myrrh and frankincense, of wine and olive oil, of fine flour and wheat, cattle and sheep, horses and carriages, and bodies and souls of men. As the King James Version says, they make merchandise of men. People become like sheeple, followers of this corrupt structure. They will say, the fruit you longed for is gone from you. All your riches and splendor have vanished, never to be recovered. The merchants who sold these things and gained their wealth from her will stand far off, terrified at her torment. They'll weep and mourn and cry out, woe, woe, O great city. Religion, dressed in fine linen, purple and scarlet, glittering with gold, precious stones and pearls. Watch out, Vatican. Watch out. You dress your pawns and your king the Pope in your purple, don't you, and scarlet, while outside Vatican City people are starving. You're not the only one of Babylon the Great, but you are very reprehensible throughout the Catholic Church. In 1 hour such great wealth has been brought to ruin. Now every sea captain and all who travel by ship, the sailors and all who earn their living from the sea, will stand far off. Now when they see the smoke of her burning, they will exclaim, was there ever a city like this great city? They'll throw dust on their heads and with weeping and mourning cry out, woe, woe, O great city, where all who had ships on the sea became rich through her wealth. In 1 hour she's been brought to ruin. Rejoice over her, O heaven. Rejoice, saints and apostles and prophets. God has judged her for the way she treated you, religion. Then a mighty angel picked up a boulder the size of a large millstone and threw it into the sea and said, with such violence, or with a quick pitch, the great city of Babylon will be thrown down and never to be found again. The music of harpists and musicians, flute players and trumpeters will never be heard in you again. No workman of any trade will ever be found in you again. The sound of a millstone will never be heard in you again. The light of a lamp will never shine in you again. The voice of bridegroom and bride will never be heard in you again. No more church marriages. Your merchants were the world's great men, and by your magic spell or spiritistic practices, one translation, all the nations were led astray. In her, religion, was found the blood of prophets and of saints and of all who have been killed on the earth. Religion has killed millions. That's why it says in verse 4 of Revelation 18, get out of her, my people. Get out of her. Come to Jesus Christ. Don't be attached to something that God is going to destroy.